Welcome back to yet another episode, guys. Happy New Year. I haven't chimed in since 2022 started, so Happy New Year to everyone. Hope you guys spent it with your family. Hope everyone is well. The last video I did was actually Ohiomi Wanfo signing for Red Star Belgrade, which is a more than needed upgrade at the center forward position. And I'm here today to talk about Cristiano Piccini, who is coming over from Valencia. He's signing a deal until 2024. And he will be making approximately 600,000 euros a year, which is less than what he made at Valencia. I believe he made 1.2 million a season at Valencia, so he's coming for a little bit less money. Just to kind of backtrack a little bit, Piccini started his career in Fiorentina, where he went on a bunch of loans, mostly to Serie B teams. He was then later signed by Real Betis, Sporting, and then he ended up at Valencia. He ended up at Valencia for around 10 million euros. In his first season, he played 37 matches. Most of them were, in fact, starting. He was a starter. And that kind of shows you the quality that he has, because Valencia is known as one of the teams who sells to the bigger dogs, so to say, in La Liga, and just basically teams around Europe. They have a really good development of players, and they sell players for a large sum to other teams. In 2019, he suffered a fractured kneecap, which obviously kept him out for the entire season. A huge blow to his career, because like I said, he was playing very well for Valencia at that time, and he missed a number of matches in the 2019-20 season because of that injury. Towards the end of the season, he was loaned out to Atalanta, where he only featured in one match. He played, I believe, something like 73 minutes. And this kind of probably tells you a little bit more about the type of player he is, if you really dig into it. So Atalanta plays with a three-back system, 3-5-2, I guess, basically. So he can play in both directions. Defensively, to playing in a 3-5-2 system, you have to be really good defensively and offensively, because a lot is asked of those left wing backs and right wing backs. So this kind of shows you the type of player that he is. If he could suit Atalanta style when they're very up and down. Atalanta, if you don't follow Serie A football, a lot of their matches they win 5-2, 6-3. I think on the weekend they won 6-3 or something like that. Ridiculous. Just a very, very offensive team, and they've been that way for a number of seasons now, probably 2 or 3, to where they just they just go out there and they plan to outscore you. He has quality in both directions, as I said, and the move to Atalanta show that, because of what I just said. You have to be able to play both ways. In 2019 and 20, he only played, I believe it was 3 matches, and last season, I have it right here, last season he played 4 matches. That's a little bit worrisome to me. This season, he's played the last 5 La Liga matches, so he's kind of getting into form a little bit. He scored against Elche. He played against Real Madrid. I believe it was this past weekend where they ended up losing 4-1, or the weekend prior to that. I can't exactly remember now. But he has featured in the last 5 or 6 games. Even in that 18-19 season, he had a bunch of other injuries. I think he had a concussion, some muscle issues. I don't want to say I'm not sold on him, but usually when a player is injury prone, those injuries kind of stick with him for the entirety of his career. They pick up little nicks and knacks here and there, and it causes him to miss time. I think this is something that we have to be very wary of. So when this news first broke, that Piccini was going to sign with Red Star, it's probably been about a month now. It was probably going to be on a loan deal for 5 or 6 months until the end of this season, and then Red Star were going to look into what they were going to do with him. Were they going to sign him to a new contract, or if they were just going to release him? Kind of what they did with Diego Falcinelli. They brought him in, didn't really think that he would fit in with the team, didn't score enough, so they send him back to Bologna. That's what I thought that this move was going to be like for Piccini. Apparently that's not going to be the case now. Valencia have kind of written him off and said that he could sign right away in January, which will happen. He will join Red Star on a 2-year deal up until 2024. I'm just not big on players who pick up many injuries. He's going to be one of the top earners at the club, $600K a year. The injuries kind of mount up, and looking through his history, picks up an injury, misses 3 or 4 matches, gets well, plays 5, then misses another 3, then plays and there's a lot of inconsistency there. I think if he can stay healthy, he's going to be very good for this team. I think going forward, he will be the #1 right back for Red Star. Gobilic and Gajic just haven't really worked out this season, to say the least. I think Gobilic has been awful. I'm surprised that he started as many matches as he has. Gajic has been a little bit better, but still some inconsistency there, and we'll see what happens with both those guys going forward. I think Piccini has some flair in his game. He can get past defenders. He has some speed. He can defend. I don't want to say at a high rate, but he can defend. His crossing is very good from what I've seen, getting players the ball in the box. A number of his crosses resulted in penalties for Valencia and other places where he's been, like Sporting Lisbon. So we'll see what he does there. But like, to kind of round it all up, I think that the injury concerns are huge, at least for me as well. I know whenever Red Star brings in a player, and as soon as injuries start to mount up and he's one of the most paid players on the team, it's a big time concern, because Red Star Belgrade isn't a team like Manchester United or Barcelona or whatever, where they can just go out and sign someone else to come in and fill into that slot. It's a big price tag that he came in, or at least the yearly wages. So this kind of has to work out. And another thing I'll say is, I like the fact that he's a little bit versatile. So where if Red Star does play with 3 at the back, with the 2 wing backs, he can play that role, or just a straight up 4 at the back with 2 center backs, a left back and a right back. So he can kind of fill in at those. He can play both formations. And I think that's the great thing about this Red Star team. They really adapt to how their opponents play against them. So if the 3 at the back is the better thing to do, it's the formation to go with, you can play that. But if it's just straight up 4 at the back, then Piccini can kind of work out in that position as well. So that's the video for today. Let me know what you guys think of the signing that Red Star made. I try to answer all the comments in the comment section, and take care up until next time.